Just edit it.
Right? No, I don't edit, okay? So now, are you recording? Can you check? I might be asking you several times. Okay, so I taught this lesson once during the other Algebra 2 section, and I kind of felt like, I mean, can we just start with a conversation? How comfortable are you guys with different types of linear equations? I think, did you guys have to watch and take notes when I was out?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So was that like familiar information, or was it completely so funny? You guys don't have to be so stiff. What's up?
What's your favorite color?
Okay, I'm recording.
Performance.
No, let's just chill out. Okay, so if I gave you an equation, like here's an equation in standard form. So this is standard form. And here's a problem you could possibly get, okay? 3x minus 4y equals 12, something like that. Okay, so if I told you to graph this, now this is in standard form. It's in the format of ax plus by equals c. Okay, that's one of the forms you can get an equation in. So on a test, I might be like, okay, can you switch this into slope-intercept form and then graph it? Do we know how to switch this into slope-intercept form? Well, first of all, what is slope-intercept form?
Y equals mx plus b.
All right, y equals mx plus b, right? So we want it in y equals mx plus b format because we know how to graph it like that. There is no way to graph a standard equation. There's no, the 3, 4, 12, they almost mean nothing graphically. So in here, we at least have the slope and the y-intercept, which we can apply graphically and then graph it on a coordinate grid. All right, so how do I switch this equation into, yeah, Amelia, what's up?
You subtract 3x.
That would be a good first step. So let's subtract 3x from both sides. Okay, so now I have negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. Now I put the x beforehand because it's mx plus b, not b plus mx, so I just kind of moved that ahead. But it's a negative 3x and it's a positive 12, so that's actually okay. Okay, so now what? Let's hear from Lucille, yeah?
You divide both sides by negative 4.
Okay, divide both sides by negative 4. All right, now I want to show you something very specific here. I'm dividing both sides by negative 4, yes? You see that? All right, so what does the left side become?
Y.
Just y, right? Yeah, so I'm going to put a y here, just y. Equals.
3/4 x. 3 over 4.
Yeah, 3 over 4x, that's good. And what's the rest of it, Mariana?
I couldn't see.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, minus 3, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I guess some of us know how to do this. That's pretty good. This part right here, is this confusing how we got from this, the right side of the equation? I expect there to be trouble here. This right side of the equation, to get to that, do we understand how that happened?
No.
You divide both numbers by negative 4.
Okay, so if you're confused how that happened, some people can do this quickly. Just see like negative 3 over 4 and 12 over negative 4. But maybe you want, before you get here, maybe you want to put it into like y equals negative 3x over 4 plus 12 over negative 4. Sorry, that's a negative 4 there also. Okay? Because I'm just dividing both of the terms by negative 4, which is what's happening here. But here's it broken down one step further before we finally get here. Does that make sense? Negative 3 over 4 simplifies to a positive 3/4. Negative divided by negative is a positive. And then 12 over negative 4 is going to be negative 3. Matthew, close that. Close that. Yeah, okay. All right, so, and now can we graph it? Now can we graph it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, can we graph this?
Yeah.
Yes, we can graph this, okay? So you put on the coordinate grid as a y-intercept of negative 3 down here, that's negative 3, so I'm going to put a point there.
And you go up 3.
Up 3 over 4, so something like that. And that's how you graph that equation. Change it to slope-intercept, graph it.
What was mx plus b?
If it's a plus b, it's a positive. Yeah, b is just, if it's positive, it's above the x-axis. If it's negative, it's below the x-axis. So it's negative, so the y-intercept will be negative. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So now let me give you a different type of problem in the realm of all 3 types of linear equations. Do we get this so far? I'm going to switch to point slope form. What's up, Logan?
Oh, wait, so you go up 3 and over 4, that's how you get the next point.
Yeah, I went up 3 because then I used the y-intercept, negative 3, and then I went up 3 over 4, up 3 units over 4, and it lands me right there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. So here's another type of problem you might see. And by the way, I wasn't going to spend the whole lesson on this, but it's just because we've come from so many different Algebra 1 backgrounds that it's like kind of important to hit these topics. All right, here's an equation in a different form. Now this is going to be point slope form. Have we heard of the term point slope before?
Yes.
Hopefully that video enlightened us a little bit. Alright, so if I put like y minus 2 equals 4 times x plus 3, something like that. Now we can actually graph this. We don't have to change it to y slope intercept form. This is point slope. We don't have to change it to y equals mx plus b, which is your slope intercept, just so we get those titles correct. Because I might just say on the test, put this in slope intercept, and you might ask me, Mr. Fan, does that mean y equals mx plus b? And I'm going to say, I'm not going to tell you that. Alright, you just have to memorize 3 different forms and their names. Alright, so do we know how to graph this? Luke, you have an idea?
Yeah.
What's up?
I would simplify it to y equals 4x plus 14.
4x plus 12, I see what you're saying, but that's the start of the process to bring it into y equals mx plus b. You distribute this, add 2 to both sides, and then you have it in this perfect form. But I'm saying you can graph directly from this.
Oh.
But that is good, and you should be able to alternate between forms. If I just distribute this, add 2 to both sides, I have now moved it into slope-intercept form. We already went from standard to slope-intercept. So we can go from point slope to slope-intercept too, but we don't need to. We'll see.
Would you make us do it this way on a test, or would we be able to just like, put it into?
Do however you want.
Y
Yeah.
equals 6.
Wait, so what's the first way you could do?
So you can just switch it into y-intercept form. Yeah. So if I
Y
want to switch
equals
into
6.
y-intercept, it's just going to be like Luke suggested, y minus 2 equal 4x plus 12. Okay. And then adding 2 to both sides, like I mentioned. Y equals 4x plus 14. Oh, 4x plus 14, is that what you were saying before?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. I didn't know you took it to the final step. So that's slope-intercept form, but we don't have to do that. And then we have the y-intercept of positive 14 way up high, and a slope of 4, so it's really rapidly
And
increasing.
then would you go over 1? Like, because you could make it 4.
Yeah, because so when you get the y-intercept of positive 14 all the way out here, then you go up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. That's your next point.
Y equals
You could go down and over. You could go down left too, right?
Yeah, so you can go down 1, 2, 3, 4 in the negative y direction, then negative 1 in the x, and you'll find your second point here.
Why are we going over?
Wait, how do we get
Because
oh.
4, the slope of 4m is equal to 4 here, which means
Distributed.
it's a rise over run of 4 over 1, because 4 over 1 is equal to 4.
Okay.
So 4 is just 4 over 1. Alright? And yeah, which is equal to negative 4 over negative 1, which Luke mentioned if I want to go in the negative direction to get a third point, hypothetically. Alright, but we kind of deviated from the original question. How do I graph this? By the way, this is called point slope form. So, as the name suggests, there is a point and the slope in that equation. Can anyone identify what the slope might be?
What was the answer?
It's 6.
What was the answer to what?
Y equals 4x plus 14.
Yeah, if you switch it there, but that's not where I want you to go. But yes, it is y equals 4x plus 14. Yes. All right. All right. Can we identify the slope here? It's one of the 3 numbers. Take a shot.
Don't use add
No, don't try to switch it.
3.
Four.
The slope is here. It's one of the numbers,
Oh,
not
it's
3.
4.
It's 4. All right. M is equal to 4 here. And what's my point then?
3.
-2.
Well, it has to be an ordered pair, so an x comma y sort of
2
thing.
comma 3.
2 comma 3.
Three
I'm going to
comma
go ahead
two.
and say 2 comma negative 3. Because the format of this equation is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, which means you take the opposite of these signs here and here, based off the formula, based off the equation. Does that make sense why we flipped the sign? So 4, we took the same number, same sign. But for the negative 2, it became plus 2 for our point. For the positive 3, it became negative 3, because that's the format in which point slope form is. It doesn't say y plus y1, x plus x1, because then I could just take the same numbers down. It's y minus y1, x minus x1, so you're taking the opposite of the signs when you're trying to graph it. Just for the point, not for the slope. Yes?
You don't necessarily need to find it though, like if you're just graphing it regularly.
If you, wait, what was your question? I just
So like
make
if
sure I
you
understand.
solve it and you get the y equals 4x plus 14, and then you
Yeah,
take the extra
you guys really want to go, you guys don't like this at all.
No.
You just want to graph like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, wait, whoa. Well, I don't know if that's technically cursed, but we're recording. Okay, so fine. Go to y equals mx plus b. Standard, you can go to y equals mx plus b. Point slope, you can go to y equals mx plus b. Just distribute the 4, add the 2 to both sides. Okay? Okay. That actually went a lot smoother than the previous class. Let me give you a sample problem and see if you guys can work on your own for a bit. The problem will be another different type of problem. Some of you might know how to solve this, some of you might not.
This is a test.
This is going to be part of your next test, which is really on systems of equations. Do you guys know systems of equations?
Is it this quarter or next quarter?
Probably
Is it
this
when you
quarter.
like eliminate and substitute?
Yeah,
and-
substitution or elimination, the two strategies.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go over that next, but this is just leading into that. So, and by the way, and that's the thing. Like, if I give you a system of equations here, right, which is really the topic I want to focus on. Okay, I don't know if I should be moving ahead in the lecture, but you might be given like 2x minus 4y equals 10, and then 3y equals 2x plus 1. And in order to do some of the strategies of system of equations, you have to be able to move the equation around. Like switching from standard to y equals mx plus b, that type of strategy of rearranging the equation is needed for system of equations, which is why we're going into it. Okay, so let me get to the practice problem for you
Wait,
guys.
was it done right?
Well, you don't need that right now. That was just me talking about something. But guess what? You could watch the video lecture later and find out what I wrote down.
But I
Wait,
did wrote
isn't
blocks
system
there.
of equations when if you're solving for x, you just put 0 in the y?
That is actually the next topic I'm going to go over right after this one. So I'm going to give you 2 points: 0, 3, and 2, I don't know, 6. Okay. If I gave you 2 points, this is again just a review of Algebra 1. If I give you 2 points, so if maybe you're a little rocky in your Algebra 1, pay attention. All right. You have 2 points. I task you with, give me the equation of that line. Obviously you can graph it, plot the 2 points, draw a line between them. But if I said, give me the equation of the line that contains those 2 points, do we know how to do that?
Okay.
Can we put it into anything? Can we put it into y equals mx plus b form or point slope? Any form. Can we do that?
Yeah.
What do you think? Luca, get us started.
Can you put it into point slope form?
You can, but we don't know the slope yet, which is a very big hint.
So then how are we even gonna put it in y equals
Let's hear from you. Go ahead.
Can you do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1?
Yes, you can do y2 minus y1
Isn't that
over
point slope?
x2 minus x1. It's very close to point slope. Actually, if you take the slope formula, you could rearrange it to make point slope form by just multiplying by this bottom quantity on both sides, hypothetically, and then it will give you that point slope format. I'll write it over here. Y2 minus y1 equals m x2 minus x1. This is a little derivation. You don't need to know this, but it's just how you derive it. And then just imagine we kept one of the y's and kept one of the x's, and now we have our point slope form coming from that equation to point slope. So this and point slope are directly related. So what is the slope here? Did anyone solve for the slope?
3 over 2.
Lucille, what do you think? 3 over 2? Okay, verified, nice. 3 over 2. 3 over 2. Who else said 3 over 2?
I don't understand.
3 over 2. You don't understand? Do you know the goal here? I give you 2 points, you have to come up with an equation, right,
Yeah.
Ronan? The equation, if you're going to use y equals mx plus b, you need 2 values. You need the m and you need the b. Well, m we just solved for here. But now we need the b. But you know what? It's almost in this format, it's easier to go straight into point slope. You guys want to see that point slope? All right. Here's my slope. Here's the point, and here's the point. I got to pick one. So let's just pick this second one here, y minus 6 equals 3 over 2 x minus 2. Did you guys get, Ron, did you catch that? This was important.
Huge.
Look, so here's my slope. I picked this point here. Here's my slope, and you can rewatch this lecture later if you need an elaboration on this, because I'm really breaking it down.
Post this.
Huh?
You're gonna post this.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on YouTube and then upload the link onto Schoology. Unlisted. So no one can see it besides you guys with the link. Alright, so here's my slope. I pick the second point. So I use the formula. Y minus, ready? Y minus y1 equals m. X minus x1 is the formula. So then I just take my 6, flip it negative, my 2, flip it negative, and then my slope from down here is 3 over 2. That's my equation. And if I want to change that into slope-intercept form, you can do that also. That's a little bit of a shortcut. You guys might be used to doing it a different way. Does anyone, actually, if you guys came up with 3 halves, do you guys know where you would go next? I took a shortcut, used point slope, but let's say you wanted to bring it straight into that. Do you know how to do that? To put it straight into point slope-intercept form. Do you guys remember the strategy where, okay, so this is one possible solution. I'll just put a box around it to not confuse myself. y equals 3 over 2x plus b, right? And we need to solve for the b value. How do I solve for b here? Do we remember this? Vasilisa?
You plug in one of the coordinates to the x and the y.
Very good. Yes, you plug in and you pick one, yes? Yeah, pick one of the 2 points. It might be easier if I pick the point with a 0 in it because it's just an easier plug-in. So 3 equals 3 over 2, well, x is 0 here, plus b, okay? So the 3 over 2 times 0, what does that become?
0.
0. So my b is actually equal to 3. And now I could rewrite this equation fully. Okay, so I take all this information and bring it down here into y equals 3 over 2x plus 3, my b value.
Where'd you get that from the 3 equals? Not that one.
Oh, actually, that's a very good point, Ronan. I made a mistake. It should be, what should it be? Oh no, it is 3. Yeah, 3 is from this point. So I picked one of the 2 points, Ronan. I picked this one to plug into that equation. So that way I can find my b value. You must use one of these 2 points to plug
So you
in.
put the 0 first.
Why did I put the 0 out here? Because 0 is x, and I plugged the x in for my x value and my y in for the y value. That's a good question. Does that make sense? Okay. I wish I had multiple color markers, but yeah, this is my x, and the other value there is my y. And I plugged it in for my x and y here to solve for b. Yeah, this is a small part of your test, but it is a part of your test. Yeah.
Like, for the one you did y minus 6 equals 3 over 2, how come you did 6 when it's y1 and y1 would be 3?
I could have picked either of these 2 points. The other format of this equation could have been y minus 3 equals, 3 over 2 x minus 0. Something, it could have been that.
It gives you the same answer.
It gives you the same answer because it's point slope. So I just plot the point, use the slope. Plot the point, use the slope.
And that's your answer?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
So
have to do anything to it?
no, because it's already in point slope form, which is an acceptable version of a linear equation. Okay, so that's kind of my lesson. They might present to you the information where they might say, here's an example problem. They might say something like m equals 1/2, and there's a point on the line 1, 3. Write me the equation. That's the easiest thing they can give you. They give you the slope, they give you the point. It doesn't get much easier than that. Or actually, it could get easier. M equals 2, and then your the point on the graph is actually 0, 0. That's the easiest, because then there's y equals 2x. It goes through the origin. Okay. But they could give you 2 points. They could give you a point and a slope. They can give you the slope and the y-intercept, would be even easier. So you need to be comfortable with this and rearranging these equations. That's all Algebra 1. If you need another lesson on it, I'll probably find out during the homework review. Okay? So I'm going to give you I'm going to actually stop recording for a bit to give you some time to work independently. I have a worksheet that's kind of a reference sheet.